She found an old mirror in the attic, covered in dust and forgotten memories. As she wiped away the grime, a whisper echoed from its silvery depths. Startled, she peered closer, her reflection rippling like water. In that shimmering surface lived a boy, kind eyes, brave smile, and trapped behind an invisible barrier. His fingers pressed against the glass, longing to break free. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "A prisoner," he replied, his words tinged with sorrow. "They cursed me here to punish my mother. A witch's son, forever bound to this reflective prison." Every night, she returned to the mirror, drawn by curiosity and compassion. They spoke of dreams and fears, of the world beyond the glass, and the magic that held him captive. She brought him books, read him stories, and shared her life beyond the mirror. As days turned to weeks, and weeks to months, she felt herself falling. Not just for the boy, but for the idea of freeing him, of breaking the curse that bound him to this lonely existence. "There must be a way," she insisted, her determination growing with each passing day. The boy's eyes softened, a mix of hope and resignation. "The curse is strong, but perhaps together, we can find a way." They searched for answers in ancient tomes and whispered legends. She consulted wise women and traveled to distant lands, always returning to the mirror, to him. On a moonless night, as the world held its breath, she stood before the mirror once more. Their fingers touched, separated only by the thinnest veil of magic. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice filled with anticipation and fear. She nodded, her heart racing. "Whatever happens, we face it together." With a deep breath, she pressed her palm against the cool surface. The glass rippled, then parted like water. She felt herself being pulled forward, falling into a swirling vortex of light and shadow, and then stillness. She opened her eyes, finding herself in a world of reflections. Countless mirrors surrounded her, each showing a different scene, a different life. And there, standing before her, was the boy real, solid, no longer trapped behind glass. But as their eyes met, realization dawned. The world around them shifted, memories flooding back like a tidal wave. She saw herself not as the girl she thought she was, but as a princess from long ago. A princess cursed by a jealous witch, trapped in a mirror realm for centuries. The boyno, the brave knight who had searched for her across time and space, smiled sadly. "You were never the one looking into the mirror," he said softly. "You were always the one trapped inside." Tears welled in her eyes as the truth settled in her heart. She had been the cursed one all along, her mind twisted by magic to believe she was the rescuer rather than the rescued. "But how?" she asked, her voice trembling. "How did you find me?" He took her hand, his touch grounding her in this new reality. "Love," he said simply. "Love that transcended curses and time itself. I never stopped looking for you, never stopped believing I could set you free." As the mirror realm began to fade around them, she felt the weight of centuries lifting from her shoulders. She was no longer the girl who spoke to a boy in a mirror. He smiled, squeezing her hand. "You were never the one in the mirror." She was. And he just came to set her free. If you love twists that flip your world upside down, subscribe. The mirror isn't done yet. For beyond this tale of curses broken and identities reclaimed, countless other stories wait to be reflected. Each with the power to shatter your perception of reality